Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome back. We are finally here. It's been a couple weeks. We got the whole squad. Brett's on his phone, but it counts.
I am.
Everyone's back together now.
The boys are back.
Indeed.
Speaking of the
Indeed.
boys being back, Brett, you got some news for us.
Yeah. It's Thanksgiving week. We got Thanksgiving games, Black Friday games. Nobody's on buys, so we got all 32 teams playing this week.
Yeah.
I'm ready to stuff my face with food and fall asleep to all three games tomorrow.
Indeed.
Some of the bigger names coming back: Joe
Yeah.
Burrow coming back to save Cincinnati's season,
Yeah,
possibly.
right. They're 3-8. No chance.
They're about to beat the Ravens though.
I heard they have to win out. I think is
They
the
do.
idea.
They do.
And then a lot of other magic.
Yeah.
But unless they can put Joe Burrow on defense, I don't think they really stand a chance. Martin Hampton coming back for the Chargers. Could be good. Who knows? And then the one and only Bucky the Irving is supposed to be back this week, which is huge because Baker is not here anymore. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we will see.
Yeah. Speaking of Baker not being here, we have someone for that.
We do indeed. So yeah, this week there was, a couple injuries last week, some notable returns this week, obviously, like Brett was just going over. Baker obviously sounds like he'll be missing this game with a shoulder injury. Is that the same shoulder he got injured in Cleveland that got him kicked out of Cleveland?
It is.
It is indeed the shoulder. So that's gonna get PTSD if it was me. Get you kicked
Bruh.
out of your football team, get injured.
The
Happens.
Buccaneers should trade for Deshaun Watson.
Yes, that would fix everything. They should 1-for-1 Baker Mayfield for Deshaun Watson.
Just full circle, baby.
Nah, Baker's hurt. Baker's hurt. We need them to pay 3 firsts on top.
Yeah. Yeah, Baker Mayfield got an injured shoulder. Some other injuries. It looks like Dart and Stroud will both be back this week after some concussion. I think Stroud missed 2 games, right?
They both
Mills
did.
played 2. Well, Dart
Mills played 3. Dart missed 2.
But we only had we had 2 Jameis games, didn't we?
Yeah.
Or a game and a half of Jameis.
There's 2 Jameis games.
Well, he only was electric in 1, but that's about expected for Jameis.
Wide receiver Jameis Winston.
Yes, wide receiver Jameis Winston. Marv is expected to be back after his appendix was removed. I think that was 2 weeks ago that happened.
Yep.
So, like
I was going to ask. The licensed medical professional about that whole take.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I missed 2 weeks of NFL football after my appendix got out.
Well, I don't think you've missed any, actually.
Right back. Exactly. I was right back to watching it the next day on TV.
That's right. No excuse.
I don't know why you missed any. Drake London is expected to miss this week with a shoulder injury. Alvin Kamara is out this week. Honestly, Alvin Kamara's entire existence.
Oh boy,
it's just sad. It's just sad. Like he should be on another team
in the NFL, right?
The Saints. No. I'm just mean from a career point of view, the fact that he's been stuck on the Saints is crazy. T. Higgins is out this week with a concussion. Obviously, the Bengals need a win this week. They will be getting Jamar Chase back though.
and Joe Burr.
He spit on anyone on the. Yeah, and Joe Burr. I don't think he spit on anyone over the over suspension. So, but we did. I mean, this is other NFL news that we didn't put in there. Did you guys see the suspension that happened with the crotch hit?
The Panthers safety Moring, where he literally punched Juwan Jennings in the nuts.
Everyone says that was provoked, like he had been dogging on him all night, but I don't think it's ever provoked to square up punch someone in the nuts like that.
To be fair, if you're gonna take a swing, that's the spot to hit if you're fighting another dude. it's a little bit disrespectful and a cheap shot, if you will. But why do these guys punch them in the face when they're wearing helmets? Like at least go for the the chest or like an arm.
Right for the
Like
groin.
he
Yeah.
he went for the
That's
full cheap
manly.
shot.
Punching someone in the head helmet is manly. Punch someone in the nuts is childish.
Yeah.
But
Fair. Aim for an
My
arm.
mom
That's
always
all I'm
used to say
saying.
growing up. My mom always used to say growing up that guys shouldn't do that to other guys because they know better and know how much it hurts, basically.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
but it happens. Isaiah Pacheco, Isaiah
Isaiah
That was
Pacheco,
interesting. Isaiah, that would be a cool name though.
almost as good as
He's
Emeka
back this week.
Igbigbu.
Big Boo. Back this week after a knee injury. And then the most important injury news of the week, obviously, and from a non-biased medical professional, is Aaron Rodgers. It looks like he'll be back after his gruesome injury that he had 2 weeks ago.
So you didn't like the Mason Rudolph experience in 2025, Jared?
I mean, there are a lot of Steelers fans that think that Mason Rudolph should play the entire way through the season. Like, that is out there, that take.
It's give Will Howard a shot. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, if this goes to crap like badly the next couple weeks, I wouldn't be against it. Like if we drop the next 3, put Will Howard in.
Dang.
But
all right. Well, we've got actual football games. Thanksgiving Day games, boys. The tradition
Yes,
of
indeed.
the Lions playing, the Cowboys playing every year. It continues.
Yep.
This week we have the Packers at Lions to kick off Thanksgiving Day. 1:00 start, or is it 12:30? I don't know.
Ooh, I think there's a 1, a 4, and a 7. Isn't that how it breaks down? I can pull up the schedule.
yeah, I think it's pretty standard. I think we looked at it.
I think it's 1:00 usually. But anyway, the Lions are favored by 3 points at home. It is a 1:00 start. We all have Lions here. I don't really have a ton to say about this game. The Packers' offense has disappeared for large parts of games, and the Lions hasn't. So I pick Lions.
Yeah. Yeah, Lions can score some points even when they almost lose to teams that are arguably bad. They still put up lots of yards and lots of points.
That fourth quarter, the Giants did it again.
Yep, they really did.
27-17 with like 10 minutes to go, and they lost the game again. Anyway, I don't think it was the head coach, guys.
Maybe not. Cowboys, Chiefs as our next Thanksgiving game. That game kicks off at 4:30, so right around the time you're coming out of your food coma, or maybe entering it. It depends what time.
Or maybe going into a second one.
Or maybe going to a second. Yeah, some people do 2 Thanksgivings.
That's my plan.
Those maniacs. But yeah, so Cowboys, Chiefs. Chiefs are actually favored in this game, even though they're on the road by 3.5. I guess people are just feeling that they are now inevitable because they won a single game against a team that lost to the Steelers, who are arguably the worst team in the league. So, by process of elimination, the Chiefs are ass. But anyways, I have the Cowboys in this game. I have a lot of faith in this offense, and that's about all the faith I have in the Cowboys is the offense.
Well, Jared, you did say the word ass, but I think you're talking about the wrong thing because the Cowboys defense is playing in this game. And unfortunately for them, that probably means the Chiefs are going to put up about 45 points. So I could, by the way, I can see this being one of the highest scoring NFL games we've ever seen. I'm just going to put that out there right now. I think the Chiefs have been bad running the ball, but their passing attack has been pretty solid recently. The Cowboys defense is built to stop the run, and their secondary is kind of getting like sliced. And I think the Chiefs offense matches up really well, and I think the Cowboys offense can do enough to keep up in the game. So, I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes to like, I don't know, 45-40 type of thing.
That would be an interesting game for Thanksgiving, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're going to be feasting on the opposing defenses.
Nice. Next game, Bengals-Ravens. We talked about Joe Burr coming back. Lost a T, but gaining Chase. I think there's just way too many twists and turns going on in the Bengals locker room right now. So as much as I don't like picking the Ravens here, I think they're going to pull ahead and win. Again, if we go back to any of the games that the Ravens and Bengals have played each other, Bengals always find a way to lose. And these are the games that end up being 40 points apiece. So this could be an interesting game tomorrow night.
I hope so, because that Thanksgiving Day slate, if the offenses show up for those 4 teams,
Could
man,
be fun.
or it could be
Mhm.
disastrous, depending on which side of that coin you fall in for like fantasy football.
True.
But yeah, I agree with what Brett said. I have the Ravens as well. With the Bears going to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles, who are 7-point favorites, got a full touchdown here. I was tempted to pick the Bears here, but that Eagles defense is way too legit to give up points to Caleb Williams. So I have the Eagles.
They give points to Dak though.
Well, not in the first half.
That is true. Not in the first half.
But I don't think the Bears can
Yeah, I
come
think
back
the
from
Eagles
down
win this
21-0.
game, though. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. No, I think we all have the Eagles sweeping this
Yeah.
week.
Also,
Yep, game after
just
that we have.
hold on. I
go for
just because Jared, you brought it up, so I had to go back to it. That was such a shocking thing. I think Jared kind of had a similar experience. Brett, I don't know what your experience was with that game, but I literally left like I think it was right before halftime of that game. Whenever I went, and I got back home late, didn't check scores, and went to bed. The next morning, I woke up and saw like 24-21, and I was like, "What the heck?" And I didn't believe it, so I googled it, and I went, "Huh? You're telling me they didn't score a point after halftime and against the Cowboys defense?"
that.
Yeah, it was a rough game.
Lots of turnovers in the second half. Honestly,
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Yeah. Our game after that, we have Rams at the Panthers. Is that no? This isn't Black Friday. The Eagles Bears is the Black Friday game.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So now we're into just regular. This should be a Sunday game. Rams Panthers. The Rams are favored by 10.5, which is not the biggest margin we've seen all year. The Rams have been cooking with gas of late, so I do think they'll win this game. I'm not sure I would want them to cover against the Panthers. The Panthers have been good at not losing terribly.
I bet I'll water bet you the Rams going to spread against the Panthers.
You water bet me?
Yep.
We didn't even redeem the last ones, but
We're
I'll
going.
do
We're
it.
going to. We will see each other tomorrow. We'll get our tally. We'll get them redeemed
True.
tomorrow.
True. We'll do it. We'll do it. I got you.
Is that another one?
Yeah.
We're agreeing on another one here, Jared.
Yep, I got you. We'll
All
do
right,
that
bet.
one.
Yeah, I think we all have the Rams for that one. Next game, 49ers and Browns. Now, Brock Purdy came back looking great on the first drive. Probably the longest drive they had all year. And then he just looked absolutely terrible the rest of the game. They still won last week, but
Not because of him.
not really because of him. Because McCaffrey, I think, he had 45 receptions or something like that.
McCaffrey and the Panthers' lack of offense.
Yeah. Although he's terrible, they are facing probably one of the most terrible teams in the league. So regardless of what Brock Purdy does, as long as McCaffrey is there, the 49ers are going to win this game this week.
Well, you make a strong point, but the point you're missing is that Panthers didn't have Shedeur Sanders. No, I'm just kidding. The Browns. I think the Browns defense. The Browns defense is probably scoring a touchdown in this game, and they'll win like 17-14. That's kind of how I see this game going. The 49ers offense has kind of looked out of sync at times, and I think the Browns defense is good enough to slow down McCaffrey enough to make the rest of the team beat them. And I don't know that the Niners have enough in the rest of the team department to beat the Browns.
Yeah.
So I have the Browns defending home field.
It could be a kill game if they hone in on McCaffrey.
How confident are you about this game with the Browns winning?
Well, I want them to lose. I just think they'll win.
Okay. So what if I said if the Browns won, I would buy Shedeur jersey?
And if the Browns
What if
lose,
you had to buy a TJ Watt jersey?
absolutely not. I will never buy the most overrated player in the NFL's jersey. Absolutely not.
Chris
Yeah.
Boswell? Chris Boswell?
I'll buy a
Baker
Will Howard
Mayfield?
jersey. I'll buy a
Oh,
Will
Baker
Howard.
Mayfield actually might be better. A Bucks Baker jersey would be
I'll
more humiliating.
I'll buy a Will Howard
That
jersey
would-
if the Browns lose.
No, that's not helpful. You like Will Howard.
Yeah, he's Ohio State.
You
Although you talked trash about Will Howard early on.
I
A
wouldn't
lot of
buy a
trash.
Shadur Sanders jersey
Yeah.
myself. That's the issue.
You were talking about. Okay. Anyway, we'll move on from that one. Game after that we have is Texans versus the Colts. The Colts are only favored by 4.5 here. I think everyone's kind of getting nervous about this Colts team. They started real hot and they've lost a couple in the last couple weeks. And on top of that, the Texans defense has looked really solid a couple times this year. I forget which game it was that they played. That I called. I was like, oh, that defense is good, and then they ended up winning it. But anyways, I think the Colts will actually still pull this off. Even with that being said, I think when you start to doubt a team, they tend to kind of prove you wrong again. And although I think the Texans have a good defense, I think the Colts will pull it through with some heavy running by JT probably.
And that's the thing. These games the Colts are losing, they're using JT like very minimally. Like at
Yes,
some point, you just got to be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't cut out the best player on our team. You know?
Well, the best player on their
crazy
team is
thought,
on
crazy
defense,
thought.
Brett.
Go Sauce.
Yeah.
Maybe.
For your
But
I think the
first.
best.
Good. Say it.
I was to say, I think the Steelers' best player is Darnell Washington at this point.
True. I agree.
Well, we don't throw it to him any.
I
so.
saw someone
I
say
know.
something on Twitter. They said every time you see Darnell Washington make a block, you should be like, boop. Just because he always throws the dude to the ground. Anyway,
Indeed.
I think the Texans are winning this game. Getting a real quarterback under center helps. Davis Mills
Mhm.
managed the games, but now they can actually, throw the ball consistently. As long as Stroud has time in the pocket, which is a huge maybe, a huge if. But I think they'll be able to get enough time for him in this game. I think it'll be less about Nico and more about the secondary pieces like Dalton Schultz and Jaden Higgins in this game. But I do have the Texans pulling off the road upset.
Next game, kind of weird game. Two,
Terrible
I would say
teams.
it's bottom of the line teams. Saints and Dolphins. I have the Dolphins just because I don't have any faith in the Saints to do anything. And the Dolphins sometimes have a chance to do something. So that's really
true.
the argument I have for the Dolphins versus Saints game.
That's true.
They sometimes have a chance to do something. Sometimes that's like
Well, they got A-Chain. They got
Perfect.
A-Chain. So that's something.
that's true. And
Yeah.
the Saints don't have Camaro.
They don't. Which makes my take here on the Saints winning seem a little weird.
You're
But,
just a big Devin
I
Neal
don't know,
fan,
this
huh?
is- Maybe. I think the real issue here I have with the Dolphins is that they're bad at football, and the Saints are also bad at football. But I kind of like their quarterback. He's got a little bit of that gritty in him, and even without Chris Olave, I think they'll get it done.
I think Olave's playing, bud.
Oh, is he? Well, with Chris Olave, then.
I thought he said there was something like a back issue.
He left practice
recently.
early on Wednesday with a back issue, but he's considered day to day. I would expect him to play at this point, unless the back issue's bigger problem than expected. But anyway,
He's
moving
probably
on.
wanting out.
He probably does want out. Speaking of wanting out, we have the Jets organization. They are at home taking on the Falcons, who are somehow 2.5-point favorites. Speaking of wanting out, I want out of talking about this game. I have the Falcons pick to win.
Yeah, Falcons on this one too. I don't know that we need to waste a ton of time. Jets are awful at football, and Falcons are not consistent, but will probably win this.
Not as awful. Cardinals
Not as
Cardinals at Buccaneers, who are 3.5-point favorites in Tampa. I have the Cardinals winning this game, getting Marv back, what Brissett's been doing, and I think Teddy Bridgewater is bad, and there's a reason he's the backup. And I think the Cardinals defense will force a turnover or a few, and that'll be enough for the Cardinals.
Yeah. I would love to see the over-under on how many times you picked the Cardinals to win a game this year. I'm pretty sure you pick them every week.
That
And
is not true. No, because
it's always Marv, McBride, or something
no,
that makes you
you know
pick
what's
the Cardinals.
funny is the last show we had, Jared, I picked the 49ers and you picked the Cardinals, and the Cardinals lost.
Well, I don't know. You're just a big Cardinals guy, is all I'm hearing. Cardinals, Cardinals, Cardinals.
Only when Marv plays, though.
Only when Marv plays.
Cardinals just find a way to lose. That's the thing.
By the way, remember when the Cardinals beat the Cowboys in Week 9?
Yep, you picked the Cardinals there too.
Both of you guys had the Cowboys.
Cardinals didn't play that week.
Anyway, you gotta get back to what you were talking about, Jared.
Nah, I was just making fun of your Cardinals love. But yeah, the Bucks will win this game. It doesn't even matter. Baker Mayfield, no Baker Mayfield. He'll probably play with his injured shoulder because that's what he did in Cleveland. And the Cardinals will lose. So I got the Bucks in this one.
Yeah. The next game is the Jags and Titans. Always got to go with my guy, Trevor Bank.
He's not Trevor Bank this week, though. That's only when he's at home.
He's always Trevor Bank.
He takes Trevor Bank with him everywhere he goes.
And going to face
that's true because he just, like most banks in this country, he absolutely scammed for money. He robbed the Jaguars with that huge contract. Like the 50-year mortgage.
Like the 50-year mortgage. Isn't it 50 million? Isn't that what he's getting paid a year, 50 mil?
I think so. It's a high number. Anyway, Brett, I'll let you get back to your...
Yeah, I mean, I'm just... ETN looks like he's becoming a running back this year. Wants to keep his job. And then who'd they get? Jacoby Myers?
Yep, Myers.
He's looking pretty good. He looks like he wants to play.
Yep.
Unlike when he was in Las Vegas. So, I don't know. I think I just have them, again, kind of too, because the Titans are just bad.
Yeah.
They really only have a special teams team. That's it. So.
Yeah. Really, the Titans are probably the worst team in football, just from like a football team point of view. The only thing that made me think otherwise about this game, I've been disappointed by the Jaguars a lot in my life. And last week, the Seahawks and Titans game, the Titans kind of took it down to the wire. They looked pretty good.
They came back late. The Seahawks were up big.
Yeah, but they can't score in the fourth quarter. Seahawks are kind of bad that way.
Bruh.
Look at the stats. That's all I'm saying. I think the Titans will take that that momentum from last week into this game, and I think the Titans will squeak out a win here. Last second field goal.
You saying the Seahawks can't score in the fourth quarter is like you saying Ohio State hasn't dominated anyone all year when they're just covering the spreads without doing anything at all every game. Oh my gosh.
Maybe.
Anyway, I think the Jaguars are winning this game. And Jared, I really like the team name you have in the doc there. I'm disappointed you didn't say it on our show. But speaking of the Seahawks, since we just mentioned them, we have the Vikings going on the road to take on the Seahawks in Seattle. The Seahawks are 11.5-point favorites. There's one problem for the Seahawks, and it's actually maybe more of a problem for the Vikings. I don't know which team this is going to suck more for. Actually, I do, and we'll get into that later. But the Vikings will not have their starting quarterback. 9 will be benched. 9 is concussed. I think he's been playing with a concussion since week, what was it, 5 when he came back? 6? 7? Because that alter ego does not work. Maybe he should go back to being J.J. McCarthy. He might learn how to play football again. Or should I say hand the ball off like he did his entire college career. But we all have the Seahawks defending home field against the Vikings.
Yep. Yeah, I think the Seahawks will win this game, and just because Dale thinks I'm wrong about things, um, the Seahawks are the third worst team in the NFL at scoring in the
By
fourth
the way,
quarter.
I did not say you were wrong. I'm just disagreeing of why they're not
They're
scoring in the fourth quarter.
they're surrounded
There
by
have literally
the
been
same.
games. There are multiple games where Jackson Smith and Jigba and the starters are like not on the field in the fourth quarter. By the way, and when you take JSN off the field, he's literally like 40% of their receiving yards. Like you're taking 40% of their passing offense off the field in the fourth quarter. Of course they're not scoring because they're up by 3 touchdowns a lot of weeks.
Yeah. I'm just saying their company down there is Cleveland,
Let's
the
go.
Saints,
Let's
the Titans, and
go.
the Raiders. So
Much
they're
different
pretty bad.
situations though.
It's pretty bad. Philly's also down there, but I didn't want to bring them up because they're winning games. Doesn't help my stats. Yeah, Seahawks win that game though. Speaking of the Las Vegas Raiders not scoring points in the fourth quarter, they're playing the Chargers this week. That'll end well. Um, probably not. Chargers are favored by 8.5 at home this week. I don't know that this game will be particularly close. The Chargers have had their struggles, but this will be kind of a get right game if I had to expect with a Mario Hampton coming back and then playing.
Somebody, Omario.
What?
You said Omario? His name's Omarion.
Same thing. Mario Hampton. Um, I think the Raiders won't squeak out this one against the Chargers, and the Chargers take home the dub.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think the Raiders really stand a chance. Another one of those bottom 5 teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Next game, Bills and Steelers. So this is an interesting one. Bills are favored by 3.5. It really all depends on if Josh Allen shows up or Josh Allen shows up.
17. Oh. Sorry,
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy joke.
Yeah. But obviously, I got the Steelers more because the Steelers they need to win. If they don't win this game, and I'd say even the last game, I think we're cooked. Like we talked a little bit before we started the pod. At that point, you might as well just start tanking. It just stinks because we had such a good year to start, but now we're getting into the second half of the year where games matter.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yep.
It's not a good prognosis, but Mike Tomlin usually wins the games that matter before the playoffs, and then he loses them.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, we're getting into the later part of the year whenever the Steelers are more focused on getting to 9-8 than they are of winning football games. So I think looking at their schedule, I think this will be one that they lose because they got to get to that 7 or 8 column in the loss. So I think the Bills are going to take this dub on the road. And then, struggling offenses. If you like defensive games, this is the game for you. We've got the Broncos, who are favored by 6 somehow. I don't even know if they can score 6 points. Going on the road to take on the Commanders in Washington. We all have the Broncos because, well, the Commanders, I struggled to find their name there for a second, are very injured right now. Jaden Daniels is still on IR. He's actually limited in practice on Wednesday. So Jaden Daniels might be back. Terry McLaurin might be back.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Commanders winning this game. That's a live switch right now as I was figuring out that Daniels and Terry both might be back. So I think if they are back, I think the Commanders win.
Yeah.
Interesting take.
Yeah, Broncos obviously have one of the best, if not the best, defenses. And the Commanders really don't have crazy playmakers, even though those both might be back. I just don't think that the Commanders are a team that have, the firepower I'm not saying the Broncos are good at scoring either, but they can score in the fourth quarter, and that's about it. So
Yeah, I would agree. I think the Broncos win this game.
Now,
I don't get it.
the most important game of the week. We have my two favorite quarterbacks in the NFL going up against each other. Prime time, Monday Night Football, and Travion Henderson's leading the Patriots backfield with Ramondre healthy. I'm so excited. I'm going to have so many fantasy matchups decided on Monday Night Football because of how many places I have Travion and Dart.
Real.
And I could not be more scared and excited and terrified all at once.
Yep.
And also,
It's a push
that
for
offensive
playoffs,
rookie
too.
of the year. That offensive rookie of the year thing. Dart has been slipping because he's been out. Tetero McMillan is now the favorite with Ibuka as number 2. Dart has fallen to 3rd. And since he's fallen to 3rd, I think it's time he restakes his claim. We saw what Jameis did last week. They want Dart to run less, so they're going to have him run more routes. Anyway, that's just a Jameis joke. But I do think the Giants go on the road and pull off a 7.5 point upset against the Patriots.
We'll see.
Travion's having a
We will
big game,
see.
though.
Yeah, we'll see. Like you said, Patriots are favored heavily in this game. I think they've been playing quite the cakewalk of teams of late. That's no surprise. People know their schedule's been weak, and it just kind of continues into this game. All we know about the Giants is they'll lead in the fourth and lose it, and that'll happen here again. So I don't think they'll probably cover the spread, the Patriots, because I don't know how you could if they were losing in the fourth and then.
If there's any team
but-
you're going to come back in the fourth and end up covering a spread, it's the Giants.
Well, that is true. But I think the Patriots will win this game on the Monday night to finish out the week.
I just think it's like setting up for a game that ends 13-6.
Whoa. There's
Just coming
no
off,
way.
Coming off of the big points the Giants put up last week and how Drake May's constantly going over 250, 275 yards.
Bad take.
Yeah,
We'll see. It better not be a snoozer.
Yeah. Well, there were our game picks. Now we've got our fun stuff. We've got our hot takes for week 13. And since it's Thanksgiving week, I think Jared should start us off. And you'll see why with his pick.
Yeah. I think, like us all, Thanksgiving week, I'm thankful. And I'm going to be thankful for this, too, when it happens. And that's the Pittsburgh Steelers beating the Bills. And the way they're going to do it is by beating James Cook, who will be renamed James Cooked after he plays the Steelers this week. I think he'll finish with under 45 scrimmage yards and a fumble with no touchdowns at all.
James
they've been
Turkey?
good at-
That's all you're saying?
Maybe.
He's going to be undercooked. Is that what you're saying?
No,
He might be undercooked
Oh.
or overcooked. Oh, I think it's overcooked if we're using cooked.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He'll
Gotta get Brett Hip with
overcooked.
the lingo.
Yeah.
With the hip lingo. But yeah, that's my bold prediction. We'll see if the Steelers can shut down another prominent running back. I heard people say that MVP JT should be up there, but he couldn't do crap against the Steelers, so I don't know how that could be true. But
all right, well, from a running back position, now we've got 2 Vikings quarterbacks. Brett, why don't you kick us off? Mine's more fun.
Yeah, so my quarterback is a previous Viking quarterback.
Exactly.
And this is him coming into his revenge game. Sam Darnold. I have him going for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns.
ooh.
Now for that to happen, though, now that I think about it, the Vikings would need to obviously keep putting pressure on the Seahawks, which I don't think they can do whatsoever. So I don't know. Maybe Darnold again it's a revenge game. And he says, "I don't care how much we're winning by. I'm going to keep slinging." So that's my prediction this week: is Darnold just destroying his previous team.
Well, I think you've got a chance for that to hit. The reason why is the Vikings are not starting 9. 9 is going to be benched due to a concussion. The starting quarterback this week will be undrafted free agent Max Brosmer. And I think he's going 250-2. This will just cement how bad JJ McCarthy, 9, has been this season. And honestly, McCarthy should watch the game this Saturday because he'll recognize how great he had it when he was in college and how lucky he got.
You're saying Michigan's going to win?
No,
that did kind of
no,
sound
how
like
great
you
he had
thought
it in
Michigan-
college
great he had
and how
it.
lucky he had. As in, like, life is terrible in the NFL. He's not with Michigan anymore. Life is now it's terrible for Michigan because the rivalry will be put back in its rightful place in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
Oh,
I hope
okay.
you didn't just jinx yourself because it kind of sounded like you thought Michigan would win. So.
If I jinx myself about that game, I've done it already because I have said so many times that Ohio State's covering that like 11-point spread, whatever it is. Ohio State is winning by like 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Ooh.
That game is not going to be close. We have a better defense. We have a better offense. That was our NFL Week 13 preview. We will see y'all next week for Week 14.
Yes, you will.
Bye.
See y'all.